Welcome to the Wellness and Beyond podcast, where we explore the challenges and opportunities facing the pharma and wellness industry today. I'm thrilled to be joined by Alwyn Viljoen, co-founder, CEO of Tailorblend. Tailorblend is a nutrition technology company specializing in premium, personalized nutritional supplements. Welcome to the show. I'd love for you to tell our audience a little bit about Tailorblend's products and services.
Great. Thanks. Great to be here. Maybe I should kick off by just showing you guys our products. So we do 100% personalized nutritional supplements, like you mentioned. We have two product types. The first is our protein shake, and the second is our drink format. So both of these are powder format, which means that one serving can replace up to 40 capsules. And of course, we stock a catalog of more than 120 active ingredients that we then incorporate for individuals into their one single personalized supplement. So our active ingredients include all your vitamins, your minerals, your macronutrients, your fats, carbs, and proteins, and then of course all the functional ingredients like your creatines, ashwagandha, curcumins, all those ingredients. And we then select the optimal ingredients for the individual, typically between 10 and 20, which is then seamlessly incorporated into your beverage, which you just prepare by adding water. So that's the product. So I'm a co-founder. My other co-founder, Bernard, actually had the idea for the company 10 years ago when we became aware of nutrigenomics, so DNA testing. And it just became obvious that once you kind of figure out what supplements you need to take based on your genetics, we wanted to provide an easy way for a consumer to get that into one product. So we realized most consumers don't know which supplements they are supposed to be taking to be healthier, and they definitely don't enjoy the process of trying to figure out which products on discount shelves to select. So the confusing array of different ingredient formats, a lap of ingredients. Once you have selected your basket of supplements, now you have to manage a whole cupboard full of supplements. You have to take hands full of supplements every day, and of course that is expensive. So those are all the problems we want to solve for the consumer, and obviously we try and do that by offering one easy, convenient, personalized supplement formulated for you based on your digital health profile, and that is easy to consume. And obviously also, maybe this is something that people often miss with personalized supplements. It's also a huge cost saving. But typically, if you want to replace your personalized supplement with all the different separate ingredients, it's typically more than double the price. So those are the core advantages we offer for our end consumer.
And do you work directly with the integrative doctors?
Yeah, so we started off with the platform at the Create page where you can formulate your own personalized supplements. But obviously, we realized most people don't have the knowledge to know which active ingredients to select. So we decided opening up that platform to healthcare practitioners like dietitians and integrative doctors who already prescribe supplements. So now instead of sending your patient to Dis-Chem with a script, you can now simply go and select the different active ingredients and then either buy that supplement for your patient or send the link, the electronic link to that formulation to the patient. The patient can then buy from us. So that's kind of how we started the business, was making this service available through healthcare practitioners. So what we discovered quickly as even healthcare practitioners were a little bit hesitant just by or intimidated by the idea of creating a unique product from scratch. So the service that we then launched, and this is the reason why we started the business or had the idea for the business initially, was then to offer formulations based on DNA tests. So we worked with all the major nutrigenomics companies in South Africa to program what we call the formulation engine, which then allows dietitians and integrative doctors to send us the DNA test reports of their patients, and we then run it through the system that we develop with these nutrigenomics companies and send back a formulation recommendation to the practitioner. So the practitioner then has an easy starting point of creating a personalized supplement. But obviously, DNA tests only give you an indication of your risk profile. It doesn't know anything about your current health status or your goals or any of that. So the practitioner would then edit the blend based on that clinical data and the preferences, and then offer it to the patient.
So then what is the turnaround time from the time that they complete that questionnaire to when it's actually formulated?
So it depends on which channel you follow. So when you place an order with Tailorblend, we typically produce that supplement on the same day or the next morning, and then ship it soon afterwards. So it typically takes between 3 and 5 days to reach the end consumer, if not faster. But then the turnaround, if you send us the DNA test report as a practitioner, we also do that same day and send back the formulation.
Quite impressive. And I see that you've now scaled into the US. Is that correct?
That is our next step. So we're really excited about that. We plan on launching physically in the United States by February, March next year, 2026. And why it's so exciting for us is maybe just from a business perspective. First of all, we had to solve a major issue related to our product format. So if you look at personalized nutrition, when we launched the company 10 years ago, we were the first fully personalized powder supplement company in the world. And now, within the last 5 years, this has been exploding, but most other personalized supplement companies offer custom pill packs. Because that's just a way easier solution from a production perspective. You can simply add the different capsules and you don't have to worry about palatability.
So why did you go for powder as opposed to capsule?
Yeah, so capsules are far easier, but it has the fundamental limitation of volume. So you can't add any macronutrients. And by the time you add all the ingredients that's typically suggested by a DNA test report, you end up with a handful of pills. And people suffer pill fatigue if you have to take 10 to 15 pills every day. So that is kind of our core technology, is how to then incorporate it into a functional format, like a food type format. So our products are beverages, right? It's either a protein shake or a drink. So the advantage of this is, like I said, one serving can replace up to 40 capsules. But then the challenge is the food technology. So usually when you formulate a powder supplement like this, it has to go through a whole product development process. You have food technologists and food scientists working on the recipe iteratively until it tastes good enough. Many of these active ingredients actually has quite a pronounced effect or impact on the palatability. So that's the first problem that we solved. Because we make 100% unique products. Like every product that we produce is unique. It hasn't ever been produced before. So in order to do that, we had to automate the product development process. And that system we patented not only in South Africa, but also in the US and New Zealand and patent pending in Australia. But why we're so excited to go to the US is, first of all, we have that patent protection of our IP. But then we also have the opportunity to expand our manufacturing. So in South Africa, it's quite a labor-intensive process to manufacture. So we have all the safeguards in place, all the systems and so on, but at the end of the day, we still have humans that measure the powder and blend the products and so on. So it's quite expensive. But like I said in the beginning, we can already offer the product at half the price of a competing basket of products. And the reason for that is we only have to manufacture one product, where the alternative is buying multiple products, between 5 and 10. Okay, so it already works in South Africa from a business perspective. But then in the US, we have the opportunity to put up an automated factory. So it's quite expensive to put up an automated factory. We have a whole story of how we developed the IP around the automated manufacturing that we can go into. It's a story I love to tell. But the main concept is it costs quite a lot of capex to build that factory, but then the factory has an enormous capacity. And you need a big market to take up that capacity to be able to pay off the capex. And that's why we're excited to go to the US. It's just a much larger market in South Africa.
And is that also run by AI?
By AI. Okay, so now we're jumping to AI. It's my other passion.
That's also one of mine. That's why I jumped into that. I'd love to know how you came about that. I find that fascinating. the whole infrastructure.
Yeah, so AI is extremely exciting for us. I mean, we spoke about the product now, we spoke about the manufacturing, but the major challenge with personalized supplements is actually knowing what ingredients an individual needs to take, right? So this is why I became involved with this company. It was Bernard's idea, and I thought it was an interesting idea. And then I have an engineering background, so I conceptually designed the framework that we patented, that I mentioned. And when I did a patent search to see whether we can patent it, this is not 10 years ago, I saw this mountain of patents pending for all kinds of technologies that's aimed at telling an individual what ingredients they need. So nutrigenomics test, a microbiome test, wearables, a whole swath of technologies. So when I saw that, I knew, okay, sure, the world is going to change. There's a tsunami coming. And that's why I became really excited about the business and becoming involved. And we have seen that now recently. We have all these nascent technologies that's now maturing, like nutrigenomics, DNA testing. The costs are continuously falling. But then we have multiple sources of different technologies all coming together. And the bottleneck most recently was now to try and make sense of this swath of data becoming now all of a sudden everybody is wearing a wearable tech and recording everything they're doing. Yeah, so we have a history of working with companies like DNA testing companies, but like I mentioned, that's limited in use. You actually need to pull in other data sources as well. DNA is not enough. So in the US particularly, you now see these platforms where you upload multiple data sources. For instance, Insight Tracker, blood test, DNA test, gut microbiome, wearables. Even take pictures of the food that you eat, and it records all your macronutrient intake. And then on top of that, the obvious thing is to then put AI to make sense of it all, right?
Yeah.
So that's the first reason that AI is exciting to me, is the concept that we're all different and unique as individuals, and to try and figure out your unique requirements as an individual. But that's kind of why we started the business. But then I realized a year ago I'm missing a massive piece of the puzzle.
What is
So I realized, like, most people buying supplements don't actually buy supplements because they think they're unique and now they need a unique supplement. Nobody goes to the discount with that mindset, right? You buy a supplement because you have a specific acute need that you want to solve. You might have gut issues, you might not be sleeping well, you might want to build muscle or sort out your skin or whatever. That is why people buy supplements. Maybe 5% of the market do kind of the diagnostics, all those kind of things that we've been speaking about. But then 95% of the market just want to solve a specific problem. Now, the first opportunity we have as a personalized nutrition company is we can niche down our marketing efforts. So we started out with commoditized products. If you just zoom out now all the way until to have a look at how the market kind of evolved over the last couple of 100 years, as we started out with commoditized products, and then we realized, okay, but people don't all want this exact same thing. So then we started diversifying and having more products and aiming it at the target market, and that target market kept on becoming smaller and smaller and more niche and more niche and more niche. And the more you do that, the more accurately you solve people's preferences and needs, right? And just the end point of that continuum is personalization. Okay, so that's the first realization then, is personalization is just the end point of that progression that has been happening for hundreds of years. And then the interesting thing when you look at supplements is, once you nail down a person's need, let's say that person wants to sleep better and is also taking this chronic medication and is a female that's X years old and all of that. Now you have an accurate view of that person, right? But the thing to realize then is most people, almost all people, don't only have that one need. It's not, they don't only want to sleep better. They maybe also want better skin, or they also want to be healthier or have more energy or have better cognitive abilities and all of that. And then once you have more than one need, then Tailorblend has the advantage of just collapsing multiple products into one. Okay, so this is now a very long story to get to your answer why AI is so exciting. Once you have all these concepts in your mind, you have to think about the world is now changing really fast and going towards an AI first paradigm. So we went through a similar revolution that is currently happening with AI in the 1990s with the revolution towards the internet, right? And many companies jumped on the internet and made websites and all of that because they knew, okay, this is going to be a new paradigm. But they actually missed the boat. The right way to think about it is, no, this is a new paradigm. You can't just add the internet onto your business model. You have to design your entire offering in terms of an internet first approach. Like that's why Amazon was so successful. They didn't build a brick and mortar store. They said, no, that's the previous paradigm. We're going into an internet first paradigm. So with Tailorblend, we're doing the same thing. We're jumping ahead and accepting and embracing this new AI first paradigm, where we realize people are probably, the internet's going to be similar to the brick and mortar store in that revolution. So in the future, many humans aren't going to use websites anymore. They're going to use their AI to do everything for them. So you've already seen this now with ChatGPT. A couple of weeks ago, launched commerce within their chat, right? So you can now just chat with your agent and it goes out and it selects all the products that's relevant to your query and show it to you, explain the differences, all of that. And now what ChatGPT added a couple of weeks ago is now you can actually buy that product within the chat. So you go through the whole process without ever leaving the chat. So you don't see those companies as websites anymore. Okay, right. So once again, so if you just visualize what that would be like in the context of supplements, is now you might ask your ChatGPT, okay, I'm struggling to sleep. What should I do about this? And ChatGPT might tell you, okay, magnesium glycinate is a good option for you. Here's a couple of products, and then maybe ask you, okay, but you're already taking these other supplements. Do you want me to incorporate those supplements into one? Or you also have this other problem you asked me about, you want to lose weight or whatever, and you uploaded your DNA test a month ago, so I know about this gene that gives you this risk profile. Anyway, the end state of that would be, okay, I actually propose you take these couple of supplements. Now, ChatGPT, the agent, might go out and find all those supplements for you, but then it might also show you a Tailorblend supplement, which is all of those in one, with all the convenience, all of that entailed. And by the way, it's going to be a half of the price or maybe a third of the price. So, I mean, that's a long story to tell you that it's like Tailorblend is really excited about AI. I think it's going to enable a lot of value, not only for us, but also for the consumers. I mean, it's just going to make a comprehensive supplementation far more accessible.
And what do you think the future of personalized supplements is? Where do you see it in 5 years' time?
Yeah, so our slogan is nutritional supplements made easy. So we kind of want to make our service disappear into a person's current routines. So people don't want to go and select supplements. They don't want to buy products. What they actually want is they want to be healthier, they want to be more efficient, they want to be an optimized human being. So our goal is to make it as simple and as seamless to achieve that. So for instance, we just spoke about AI, but we have different formats coming as well. So the patent that I spoke about protects the automatic recipe generation of any format where palatability is important. So not only the powder supplements we're currently doing, but also bars and gummies, breakfast porridges. So you can just now imagine if you already take a breakfast porridge in the morning, you can just continue doing that, but why don't we just put all your micronutrients into that product, and you don't have to change anything about your lifestyle. You just have your ChatGPT make the right decisions for you. So that's kind of where I see it's going.
So where does it leave the doctor?
Yeah, that's a very good question, because you can also envision that the interpretation that our dietitians and integrative doctors are doing, some of that AI can already do. You can already ask your bot to give you that service. So I think it's going to mostly empower our network of dietitians and integrative doctors. I'm not a zero-sum thinker. I think there's abundance, and I think we can all level up. And if you think of what the fundamental value offering of a dietitian is, I mean, if you think about it, a patient of a dietitian can actually get most of that information of how to be healthier, how to have a healthy diet. Those things that you can Google and you can figure it out by yourself. The reason people go to a dietitian is because they value the personalized service. They want somebody to look at Alwyn and say, okay, I understand who you are, and then I'm going to personalize your meal plan and your exercise plan and everything for you as an individual. And then obviously, currently before Tailorblend, you would now give generic products to that same person. Where with Tailorblend, you can also personalize the product. So that just 100% falls into the value proposition of the dietitian, where their main value is giving a personalized service and product.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you use AI obviously to manufacture at scale. And how do you use AI in your day-to-day business?
I'm a huge fan of AI. So we don't really use AI currently for the manufacturing, like the system of adjusting the recipes. The food technology, that's still old school programming.
Okay.
There is an opportunity to use AI to refine that further, is to develop the food science around it. And then obviously, I use AI just for many business functions. I can't remember when last I used a lawyer for a contract. So I just do all my contracts myself, and I use it as a tool for learning. So it just leverages and multiplies your capacity to learn. So that's how I personally use it. We have a questionnaire that we experimented with, but the majority of our sales is through our practitioner network, and then we collaborate with other companies which we categorize as health intelligence companies. Currently in South Africa, those are nutrigenomics DNA companies. But then the offering in the United States that we're going to launch early next year is going to be focused on B2B2C, just because those companies already have the distribution in the new geography. So we quite collaborative. We work closely with those companies. AI implementation that might be interesting that I'm toying with. I don't have the answer yet, but it's quite an interesting thought experiment. As I mentioned, the niching down until you have the ultimate niche, which is a product designed for you as an individual. Now, I also said in the future, people might not browse the internet as much. They will interact through their agent. But if you look at the revolution in the 90s, where people went over to the internet, they didn't stop using brick and mortar shops. They still go to brick and mortar shops. So the same is expected to happen in the future with the internet. Many people will still choose to browse the internet, right? So if we now have a product that is specifically tailored for somebody on the internet, then you have a challenge, first of all, to know what the needs are of that individual, and then to offer him the product. So I think an interesting AI implementation might also be personalized ads. For instance, you can now imagine, I saw a niche product the other day, which is a joint replacement product, which is pretty niche. I mean, it's a very simple product. It's just essential amino acids. But I expect it's doing quite well, and I think the margins on that product is probably great. Because if you see that ad while Googling an orthopedic surgeon, you're just going to think, okay, but this product speaks to me. It is exactly what I need right now. I'm going for my knee replacement this Monday. I'm already spending all that money. Probably a good idea to also get the supplement to make sure everything goes well.
Yeah.
But now you can further niche down. Like I said, you can also then have the ad focus on your age group or your sex or whatever health condition it is. But the major interesting concept to me is you can probably, based on a person's activities on the web, glean quite a lot about what the person's needs are. And then you can create on the fly a personalized ad to show that person. And now the great thing about the Tailorblend system is you can show those ads to people, but you don't have to manufacture the product and take a risk on it. You can wait until the consumer agrees, okay, this is the perfect product for me, and buy it. And when they click buy, then on the fly, you can create that product. So you can reverse the whole process. Yeah, you can on the fly bring that product into existence that hasn't ever been existed. I mean, you can order it and we'll manufacture it 10 minutes later. So
that's clever.
yeah, that's another thing that's quite exciting.
Is what you're thinking of bringing in?
I'm just thinking about the future of AI. It's like the AI will enable those personalized ads that's adjusted on the fly.
Because there's a lot you can do with ads with AI. Blow your mind.
I'm not that versed with it. Like I said, we're not really direct to consumer. There's now a whole new world I'm trying to learn and get on top of.
But even so, where can my listeners find you?
Yeah, so if you're a healthcare practitioner, like a dietitian, integrative doctor, and have a look at our website, www.tailorblend.co.za, and send us an email to info@tailorblend. You can have a look at our AI, it's still beta, tailorblend.ai. If you're a consumer, go and play around, it's quite interesting. Not yet launched, but it's available. A little bit of an Easter egg. And also, we work closely with our clients, so very welcome to send us an email, and we have an in-house dietitian that's very happy to have a quick consultation, even with consumers. We're still trying to learn as much as we can about the needs of our clients, so we love having a chat.